of the day. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's kick this whole thing off. BAKTERIE up on the red side, and it's going to be Arctic Paul on our blue side.
Yep, so we got Mega Minion actually to start off in the back. Ice Wizard for Die as well. I think they're just trying to cycle through a little bit, feel out their opponent's decks, and try and see what they can come up with to come against their opponent's decks, I guess. But we've got a little bit of a splash coming out from Die here, and Arctic obviously just coming out with some single units. We might actually have a Sparky coming out from Arctic here, straight in for the graveyard on the left-hand side. Really nice push from Die here, and I think he's going to get a lot of damage on this tower.
Already that we saw a big connection there, down to 1600 HP. That's a fantastic way to start the game, obviously. Usually you wouldn't see quite that big of a hit, but the graveyard coming down as well as the Knight, or the Dark Prince, sorry. The Mega Minion should be able to chop through a lot of this, but I think the towers are going to do most of the work here, and not too much damage, a little bit of an answer, but not quite as much as the original push.
Yeah, but I think Arctic Paul, he just expended a lot of elixir in the back, and that was his problem. His opponent saw that, he put a big card in the back, and then he went straight in for the graveyard because he had that Dark Prince. He had a lot of stuff coming forward to tank for that graveyard, but we do see the Sparky in the back coming from Arctic Paul at the moment, so I don't know if Die actually has a big spell to deal with this. Rocket's obviously the best spell to deal with this because you can one-shot a Sparky, but I'm not too sure how he's going to push into this. It could be putting the Baby Dragon down. That should just chip away at the Sparky and should be able to take it down.
Yeah, I'm curious what his answer will be. Obviously, the Dark Prince would tank a hit from it, but the Hunter going to go down there as well. That is going to do a lot of work for him. There's the barrel coming on through. The Hunter did go down, but Sparky remains here. Finally gets taken out in the end. That was close, though, but a lot of damage just from the Barbarians. The Goblins as well joining in there, and another good push coming out from Arctic Paul.
Yeah, but I mean, Arctic Paul, I think he's picked a deck which is actually really good against Royal Giant because he's got the Hunter in there, he's got the Sparky, and he's got lots of big units can actually take down the Sparky. I mean, the Royal Giant really fast, especially the Hunter. It's one of the strongest cards, I'd say, to take down the Royal Giant, especially if you're going for that Mega Minion Royal Giant push. You can just drop it straight away, but obviously he's against a graveyard at the moment. I think he's going to struggle a little bit. He hasn't got poison. He needs to use all these little units to be able to take this down, but he just doesn't seem to have the elixir.
That might just be a tower coming down here. Sparky is not your best defensive tool against the graveyard, and there we have it. It's going to be BAKTERIE starting things off strong. Lightning comes out, though. The Goblins and the Hunter will be there, but the barrel is going to do some work. Sparky desperately trying to get in. One more hit will finish this tower, and I think Sparky is going to be blocked there by the Prince. Snowball comes through. Oh, it didn't hit the tower.
It did not hit the tower. That was a really bad move from Arctic Paul there. Just slightly off, maybe just dragged it a little bit back and missed that tower. He really needs to get that tower down right now. We've only got 15 seconds to go. He's not really got a small spell and cycle. He does have his lightning, but it's such a big spell.
You don't want to waste that 6 elixir. It's going to be tough now. He's going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. At least pushing it into overtime, though. Both towers on this side of the field are going to be full HP. Yep,
we look like we're having a big push from Arctic Paul here, trying to get through. A nice tornado coming down, clearing everything up with AoE, so really well played there.
2 Ice Wizards. Now the graveyard comes down as well. This is going to be difficult to defend. Hunter comes out, as a Mega Minion does as well. That's going to deal with most of this graveyard. And the guards there on top of the Ice Wizards. Nicely played here by Arctic Paul.
Yep, surprisingly actually from Arctic Paul. He had no damage in his tower, maybe 1 skeleton hit, but that's not enough for
especially after that tornado. I was expecting a lot more damage than that to come through.
Yep. Yeah, there's a huge counter push, definitely, but Arctic Paul just controlled it really well. He hasn't got a good deck, I would say, against Graveyard just because he hasn't got that poison. He hasn't got little stuff to take down this Graveyard, so he's forced to put down the Barbarian Barrel, maybe his guard, something along that line to actually take this down, and that's a lot of elixir to spend to take down a graveyard.
Yeah, he keeps on using the Mega Minion as his sort of answer, but obviously the Mega Minion, not the quickest attacker, so when they're spawning in so quickly, you will find a bit of damage sneaks on through regardless. Sparky going to be pushed backwards and will be finished off by the Barbarian there. This Baby Dragon doing some good work for the side of BAKTERIE, but we are going to get a little bit of damage in. Mostly it's going to be stopped, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for both players to get damage at the moment just because the tower's taken down and it's just really easy to control the push coming forward, especially with Tornado coming up from Die here.
Yeah, and especially in this late game situation where you both only have 1 tower, there's no split lane pressure to work with, so you have to just bash into one another, and it comes down to who can get that one good push. It's all that, like, for example, if Arctic Paul can just get one good push where Sparky can connect to a tower, that's going to be the difference maker in this kind of game.
Definitely. But if Die can control this with his Tornado, he's going to be able to get this down. But we've got double Sparkies coming forward here. Is one going to get a shot on the tower? Does take down the Electro Wizard. I think this pretty much half HP. So.
That one's locked on. 600 damage in. Are they going to be able to finish it off? The Dark Prince is going to ruin the day for Arctic Paul. 600 HP on that tower. 1 minute left of overtime.
If I would to say any deck here to actually win, I'd probably say that Dai would have the advantage here. But Arctic Paul is just playing this really well. He's spell cycling now, and he's just trying to take that tower down. He knows he needs to get that tombstone down with that lightning. He could have got the Ice Wizard in there as well, just slightly out of range with the lightning, but still just trying to get the rest of the damage on his tower. His tower is pretty healthy on the right-hand side, still 1500 HP, so he's got plenty of time to go.
Yeah, it just needs to cycle through to that lightning.
Definitely got to be sharp and very early. Left armor.
The audio link for that is going to be a lightning to finish the game, and Arctic Paul takes game 1 in this series. Now it is a best of 3, so we will have an opportunity for BAKTERIE to answer back off of that one. But honestly, I'm impressed that neither player running with the Royal Giant to start things off.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly expected Royal Giants to come out straight away, but I think a lot of these players are countering Royal Giant with their deck. They're not just leaving it. I mean, you could even see in Dai's deck there, he had the Tombstone. That definitely helps out the Royal Giant. He'll take a couple shots at Royal Giant. He can maybe put something else down to be able to take it down.
Also, the Sparky decent into a Royal Giant just because of the sheer damage that it can offer as
definitely.
well.
And the Hunter with direct damage, just drop it right on top of the Royal Giant, and it takes it down in no time. So two really good decks from both these players. Arctic Paul, I felt, played really well there, though. I think he was at a slight disadvantage with his deck because he didn't really have any answers to Graveyard at all, but he still controlled it really well.
Yeah, really, really well played. I'm impressed at how well he was able to survive that, especially with the poison coming out at the same time. Here we go, though. Game 2 underway. Once again, Arctic Paul going to be on that blue half of your screen. We'll see what the answer is going to be this time coming out from BAKTERIE, whether they stick with the same decks, whether they're going to change it up a bit. By the looks of things, already a change up as the guards are going to be dropped.
Yep, similar decks. It looks like potentially Royal Giant actually coming out for Dai, because Furnace paired with Royal Giant is just really strong. It helps defend really little units and gets loads of damage done. But Lightning going down there did miss the tower, though. So I felt like he had enough range to hit the tower there, but he didn't manage to get it.
Yeah, maybe pressure getting to these players. I mean, we went and spoke with the players a little bit this morning, and definitely a little bit of nerves for quite a few of the guys here today. Some of the players very happy to talk to us, very happy to get on the live stream and things. A lot of them very, very nervous to be here. And, you know, we've got some pretty young players here, 16 to 18 player age range here. And, you know, if it's your first time away, you're flying out to Greece for a tournament, there is a lot of pressure on.
Yep, huge amount of pressure. I don't think there's any tournament I've been in so far that these players haven't had this slight bit of nerves. I mean, they can make you misplay, they can make you drag back your units just slightly, the misplay definitely. So, but I mean, there's a lot of pressure here. I mean, these guys get to go through to China if they get through this, so we'll see how they go. But we got a big Pooch coming back here, we got some guards coming down. Don't think it's going to really do very much. Got the bar barrel down there, easily be able to control it. Furnace going up, should be able to finish it off with not really much damage onto that right hand tower. But Dai, he does seem, they're kind of equal in elixir. He's got the Furnace down from Dai, so he has definitely got that down. And yeah, we got Snowball coming down as well. So just stopping the damage, I guess the tower, I mean, that Furnace just chips away so much on those towers.
Yeah, Furnace just such an incredibly strong card at the minute, especially in conjunction with that Royal Giant. It's strong on its own, but then not only is it good for clearing things out for your Royal Giant, it's also good for distracting opponents' Royal Giants, which in this current meta is incredibly important.
Yeah, definitely. I think Furnace is probably one of the best cards for a Royal Giant at the moment. Stuff like your Inferno Tower, using that against Royal Giant, it can get zapped really easily. You can have little units come from the middle of the bridge, like your bats, anything along that line, and it distracts the Inferno Tower really easily. With the Furnace, it constantly chips away, and it's got a decent amount of health to defend that Royal Giant as well.
Another good little hit there from a Baby Dragon, so BAKTERIE is actually leading pretty significantly at this point, only 500 HP ahead on the tower. But the Furnace is the Royal Giant slightly chipping away. In fact, I don't think he's got a Royal Giant hit in just yet. Maybe he got one earlier on in the game, but doing an excellent job of just defending against these Sparkies and making it really difficult for Arctic Paul to get any progress.
I've got the Royal Giant coming up the right-hand side, though, trying to get through that tower. That Mega Minion Royal Giant push, really strong at the moment, I'd say. We've got the Hunter coming down, trying to defend all this. Gets so much shots in the tower. That was 3 shots.
3 shots in, and you can see how much damage that does. All of the work that Arctic Paul had been doing over the last minute has basically been denied at that point, now that managed to get some shots in. Electro Wizard going to finish off the Hunter, and now another Sparky making its way up with the Electro Wizard is going to ruin that Sparky's day.
Yeah,
or not.
Or not. I feel like Dai's probably definitely got the advantage. He's got that Lightning, which can easily take down the Sparky, which you saw there, just easily managed to take it down, took the health down of the Goblin Giant as well, and he's easily managing to clear this up, to be honest with you. I think Dai, again, does have the advantage with the deck, so he should be able to pull it off this time, but you never know. Arctic Paul played the last deck against Graveyard really well, and obviously took the win.
I was going to say, yeah, we felt like Sparky had the deck advantage in the last game as well. It didn't work out for him, so let's see if it's going to be enough here. Just cycling through, not only to get that Royal Giant, but to get the opportunity that set up with the Mega Minion. Get ready for this one, but the Hunter comes on in. That is going to do a good amount of work to clear this up, but 2 shots come in from the Royal Giant. That's 600 HP remaining every single time he gets that Giant down. It does so much work.
I mean, Arctic Paul definitely has a good deck against Royal Giant, but the problem is he does not have a building, so that Royal Giant just freely walks through every single time. He's got nothing, he's got the Snowball to slow it down, but Snowball's not near enough to be able to take this down. But Arctic Paul coming in with a big push. He's still got the Sparky, he's still got the guards, Mega Minion coming forward as well.
There
and
it is,
shot in the tower.
connects.
This is it. I think Arctic Paul did this last time. His tower was reasonably quite low, and he managed to get that Sparky in just at the end there. So again, really well played from Arctic Paul here. He's solid with this deck, to be honest with you.
You know, Sparky and Royal Giant are kind of similar in that when you do manage to get through and get that one hit, it makes such a huge impact on the game. That Royal Giant is going to be stopped in its tracks. The Hunter moving forwards now. This actually is an intimidating push landing right here. Hunter's going to survive. They're going to get onto the tower. Guard's trying to block it, but I think this might just be a tower going down. And Arctic Paul takes the series.
Yep, really well played there from Arctic Paul. He seemed like, I don't know,